So here's the thing. There are so many people out there who call themselves leaders, but here's the truth. They have never, and I mean never, ever stepped into leadership. Again, they call themselves leaders, but they have never stepped into leadership. And that's really, I believe, a plague within our churches, even within our governmental structures and systems and organizations, that we have so many people that call themselves leaders, but have never stepped into the concept or idea of leadership. Hey, I'm Dr. Torrey, and I want to say thank you so much for joining me for the Shift Live tonight. Hey, let me know who you are in the comments. Talk to me. Say something in these comments. Let me know where you are calling or watching from, and I would love to greet you as well. So let's get into this. First of all, before I get into the concept of people thinking they're leaders, but not really stepping into leadership, I want to start with this statement that I believe that everybody has the potential to be a leader, but not everybody unlocks that potential of leadership. So again, everybody has the potential to be a leader. I believe leadership is embedded into us. It is that we're built with leadership in us. That some people say, are leaders born or are they developed? And I always say yes. Leaders are born and leaders are also developed. Leaders are born and they're developed, and it takes both a discovery and a development. Let me say that again. In order for me to really unlock this level of leadership, it takes a discovery. In other words, discovering what I am born with, right? And then developing that discovery, right? So that's what's really important. So it's important to understand that leadership is inherent. Leadership is inherent, but it must be discovered and developed. So that's where I stand in the concept of leadership. But the reason that there are so many people in the world, in organizations, in business, in government, in church, there are so many people that think that they are leading, but they have never led anybody. They're not leading anybody. They think it is because we have developed the incorrect concept and construct of leadership. Leadership has been presented improperly. It has been looked at improperly, which has caused us to operate operate outside of the concept or the true concept, or maybe even we could say the God concept of leadership, right? So here's a couple of things that we understand, that a lot of people have thought that leadership is about a title. So if you get the title of manager, you become leader, or supervisor, you automatically are a leader. Or in the church world, what we begin to do is we say, if I become a bishop, I'm a leader. Or if I become an apostle, I'm a leader. If I become an evangelist or a pastor, then I'm a leader. Or if I get the position in the church as the director of media, or the director of music, or the director of youth, or whatever, that makes me a leader. But I think it's very important that we understand that there is nothing in us there's nothing in a title that makes us a leader. And so we try to lead by way of title. We try to lead by way of position. And leaders are not leaders because they have been given a title to lead. Right? You can have a title, but somebody else in the organization is actually the leader. Let me say that again. That's very important. You can have the title, but somebody else in the organization is the actual leader. It happens in church all the time, where the pastor by title is the pastor, but someone else is leading the church. It happens in organizations where by title, someone is a supervisor, but there's someone that nobody even sees that's making the decisions, or that's the leader. Someone could be the CEO, entrepreneur of their business and still not be a leader. So we got to discover then that leadership is not based on your title, nor is leadership based on some type of social status. So what people then begin to think is, I'm a leader because of where I come from. I come from this side of the tracks, or I come from this school, or by the way, your degree doesn't make you a leader. I come from this school. I come from this this financial, economic, this social economic status. I got this kind of money. And so then we think that then money makes us leaders, or status makes us leaders. This place I come from. And none of those things make you a leader. You can have millions of dollars in the bank and still not be a leader. I know that shocks so many of you. I know so many are thinking, no. If I had money, I would definitely be a leader. And it's simply not true. None of those things make you a leader, right? The thing. So what? Titles don't make you a leader. Status doesn't make you a leader. Money doesn't make you a leader. Your last name doesn't make you a leader. The fact that you're gifted is another one. Because you're gifted and talented, oftentimes people think that I'm the leader because I'm the most gifted on the team. I'm the leader because I'm the most talented in the church. I'm the leader because I sing the best, or I'm the leader because maybe I preach the best. But none of those things make you a leader. This like when you realize that those things are far from leadership. They're far from leadership. I'm gonna say it, they're far from leadership. They don't make you a leader, because when you think those things make you a leader, then your leadership has to come by force. Let me say it one more time for the people in the balcony. I need y'all to catch this. When you think that your leadership comes by status, or by position, title, or by economic status, social economic status, or by your talent, your gifting, then you have to force your leadership upon people. You have to force your leadership. You have to force your way until you have to force people to follow you. Right? That's what I'm trying to say. You have to force leadership. You have to make people follow you. This is where manipulative leaders come in, and controlling leaders. I'm calling leaders, but they're still not leaders. This is where manipulation and control and all of that stuff comes in, because you haven't discovered or unlocked your real leadership potential. So you got to try to manipulate and control your way into people following you, which becomes more of a system of you telling people what to do and forcing them to do it, right? That's been like the common thread of leadership. I tell you what to do and you do it. I force you to do it. Or I tell you what to do and you do it, or else I'm going to demean you. I'm going to berate you. I'm going to fire you. I'm going to tell everybody you're a terrible person. Whatever it is, I'm going to assassinate your character. And the reason that happens is because, again, there's so many people that think leadership is forcing somebody to do something, and leadership has nothing to do with force. It has absolutely nothing to do with force. Now, John Maxwell says that leadership is influence. Leadership is influence. John Maxwell says leadership is influence. Dr. Miles Monroe says leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration, motivated by passion, generated by purpose. And so this is what leadership is. It is the ability to ultimately influence people into coming into your ecosphere, your sphere of influence, and partnering with you in the ultimate or overall vision. So if leadership is influence, leadership is not force, and neither is influence. So you can't force your influence on people. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? You can't force your influence on people. That's important to know. So what I need you to understand is, if leadership is not force, if influence is not force, then how do you get influence? I want you to hear me, and you might need to write this down, because this could take your leadership from low capacity to high capacity leadership. Leadership is not force. Influence is not force. Influence is earned. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. Influence is earned. Influence is not forced. Okay. Leadership is not forced. It is earned, which means that you have to earn the right to influence people. You have to earn the right to lead people. You have to earn the right for people to come into your ecosphere, into your sphere of influence, and partner with you to help you accomplish the vision that God has given you. Leadership must be earned, and most leadership is forced. This is why people are so tired of following people, and they're like, I get tired of following these people that are just whatever. So it's because most people are forcing it. But when you understand that leadership cannot be forced, leadership must be earned. It is an earned experience. It is an earned concept. Leadership is a matter of fact. I need you to go ahead and put that in the comments. Put it in the comments. Put in the comments. Influence is earned. Put that in the comments. Influence is earned. I need you to put that in the comments, because that is going to help you in your concepts of beginning to lead people, begin to guide people, begin to empower people, your ability to begin to take people to the next level of their life when you understand the fact that influence is earned. So influence is earned, and influence comes through this word. Watch this. It comes through when you earn it. It comes because you are an authority. Now we're gonna debunk the word authority, because for most people, when they hear the word authority, they think that authority means to be hardcore, right? To be hard. If I'm gonna have authority, I gotta be strong and hard, and I gotta be tough. That's authority. That's not authority. Now, before I get there and dealing with authority, let's go back to influence. Because I want to give you the definition of influence. Influence is earned. Let me give you the definition of influence. Influence is the act or power, watch this, of producing an effect without apparent exertion or force or direct exercise of command. Let me give it to you again. This is the definition of influence. The act or power of producing an effect without apparent exertion or force or direct exercise of command. So when you have real influence, y'all hear me? When you have real, actual influence, that influence goes beyond your exertion or your force, or you're trying to make that influence happen. Influence, when true influence happens, people have a tendency to desire, listen, let me say it this way. They have a tendency to have a desire within themselves to walk alongside you and help you accomplish the thing you're designed to accomplish. So real influence produces a desire inside of someone that causes them to gladly follow you and help you fulfill that vision. Did y'all hear what I said? Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? When you have real influence, I'm talking real influence, it produces in you, now in a person, the desire to follow you. So in other words, you don't have to make them follow you. Like real influence, when you have real influence, like, watch this. The more influence you have, the less rules you have to have. Okay. Y'all didn't hear what I just said. I'm gonna say that again, because that right there throws you off. The more influence you have, the less rules you have to have. If your organization is saturated with rules and regulations and demands, then there's probably no real leadership. Because real leadership, the more influence you have, the less rules you have to have. What are you saying? Don't you have to have rules? I'm not saying you don't have standards. I'm not saying you don't have expectations. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm not saying you don't have expectations, but what I'm saying is that when you have real influence, people start showing up before you get there because of your influence. Talking here. Are you with me? Because of your influence. I mean, yes, you have a time to show up, yet because everybody wants to know when to meet and all that stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that when you have real influence, people just desire to do the thing that you desire to be done when you have real influence, right? That's what influence is. Let me give you that definition again. It is the act or power of producing an effect without apparent exertion or force. That's what influence is. That's how influence works. So again, we're going back to this word authority. So with influence comes authority, or authority breeds influence. Let's say it that way. Authority breeds influence. Well, what is authority? We just said authority does not mean talking down, talking hard, telling people I'm the boss, I'm the one, I'm running this thing. That's not authority. Again, that's a lower level form of manipulation. It's not even leadership. It's a form of manipulation. Control is not leadership. Okay, influence is leadership. So authority breeds influence. What is authority? Authority simply means that you are an expert in some certain area. So in other words, you are an expert. I'm an expert in public speaking. I'm an expert in mind, in understanding the mind and helping people shift their mind. I'm an expert in those areas. So my expertise attracts people and causes me, or gives me entrance, or gives me access, or it gives me permission to influence their lives. Because remember, I said that influence does not come by force, but influence is earned. So when I become an authority, right, an authority in a specific subject, an authority in a specific idea, it gives me the ability to earn my influence in the people's lives. If you think about Jesus comes on the scene. The Bible says that Jesus, when he began to speak, that the people were mesmerized. They were astonished because they said, we're hearing a doctrine that we had never heard before. He does not teach like the Pharisees teach. And Jesus begins to develop all these followers. Why? Because he was an authority. The Bible literally says he speaks with authority, not as the Pharisees and as the scribes. It wasn't just authority as in he had this thing on him. No, it was authority as in he had a message that was mastered. And when he spoke as one who knew what he was talking about. So authority breeds influence. And a lot of times you can't breed influence or get influence because you are trying to gain influence by force based on something you haven't really mastered. Did y'all hear what I just said? Did y'all catch that? You're trying to build influence based on force of something you haven't mastered. Because when you are an authority, what's the root word of authority? Is the word author. The word author is someone who writes a book about a specific subject. I got 2 books back here. By the way, let me plug right here. Lord, teach me how to fish. You have to inbox me to get that one. Go Next. You can go to Amazon right now and type in my name, Torrey Montgomery, and type Go Next. And you can get that book off of Amazon right now. Or once you get done watching this, go get that book. It'll change the game for you. So an author is a root word of authority. An author is someone who writes or has mastered something, and they can actually teach it. They can transfer that information, right? That's what a book is doing. A book is transferring information. It's transferring my experience into someone else's life. So when you become an authority, the authority is what attracts people, right? So I'm also a martial artist. So I'm a 7th degree black belt. And I just taught a class the other day, and everybody in the class, I had no problems with the class. Like there was another instructor that was having all kinds of problems, whatever, but I had no problems in the class. Why is it I can come to class with about 40 people, start teaching this class, have no problems? Everybody did exactly what needed to be done. Not one issue. It's because I am an authority. A 7th degree black belt is a master of the art. I've mastered this art up to this level, which means that when I speak, I know what I'm talking about. I am an authority. And so when I got up to speak, they saw the authority that I had, not because I was mean, not because I was rude, not because I was upset and walking around like I was a tough guy. They saw the authority because they could tell that when I said throw a kick like this, I knew what I was talking about. And the result of that was I earned influence. Oh, goodness. I hope y'all getting what I'm saying. The result of that is I earned influence. So one of the ways that you earn influence is by becoming an authority. One of the ways you become an authority is by becoming a student of knowledge. In other words, getting to a place that knowing and learning is more important than even leading. Let me say that again. You got to get to a point that you learn faster than you lead. A lot of people try to lead faster, but you got to learn you got to get to a place that you learn faster than you lead, because people can tell when you really don't know what you're talking, when you're just trying stuff and you don't really know what you're talking about. Right? So learn faster than you lead. Don't reverse this. Y'all, listen to me. Don't reverse this. Don't try to lead faster than you learn, because eventually your leadership is going to run out. It's going to sink. Your leadership is going to sink because you've tried to lead faster than you learn. But you got to reverse this. This is how you're going to get authority. You learn faster than you lead, right? You become more of a student than you are of a leader. So your desire to be a student needs to be greater than your desire to lead. If y'all with me, I need you to put in those comments, I'm with you. Put in those comments, I'm getting it. That's what. Put in the comments, I'm getting it. If you're getting it, I need you to put in those comments, I'm getting it. I need you to put that in the comments, put it in there, I'm getting it. Because I'm trying to tell you. As a matter of fact, let's think about what Jesus said. Jesus said it like this. The way he said it, Jesus said that those that will be great among us will be those who are the servants. It didn't say those who will be great among us are those who seek the greatness, right? He said the principle is that if you want greatness, don't seek greatness. If you want greatness, seek service. So I'm using the principle. If you want to be a great leader, don't seek leadership. If you want to be a great leader, seek learning. Goodness. This is so strong. I hope y'all catching what I'm saying. I hope y'all picking this up. Again, if you want to be a great leader, stop seeking leadership positions. If you want to be a great leader, seek learning, because your learning is going to make you an authority. Your authority is going to breed influence. It's going to give you the ability to earn influence in the lives of people. And it's just so amazing to me to watch people try to lead as pastors and try to lead organizations. And I watch people in different departments. I've been doing this for a long time. And I watch people in different departments. I've watched people become black belts and think now that they're a black belt, they can tell everybody what to do. I'm a black belt now. I can tell all the underbelts what to do. And it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. The people get burnt out. They get burnt out. Everybody mad. Everybody's offended. All these types of things. The whole organization becomes chaotic. Someone who is not a leader trying to lead breeds division. Division just happens when someone tries to lead from control, manipulation, from all of that stuff, from what's that word? Micromanaging. A micromanager is not a leader. A micromanager is a person with an ego. Yeah, a micromanager is a person with an ego. A micromanager is a person that doesn't trust anybody. Leadership, you have to trust people when you really become a leader. I'm talking about when you become a leader that produces more leaders. You can't do that through micromanagement, because micromanaging is what makes leadership sterile. In other words, leadership cannot reproduce when it's being when the organization is being micromanaged. Leadership cannot produce. So one of the things that I try to do, and we're getting better in our organization, and we're building and we're growing, we're really just establishing something. But one of the things that I really like to do is I like to give people the ability to take their gifting and run with it. With all I do is cast vision. Like all I want to do is cast the vision about what you do, about what I see in the organization. And what you do is you have the liberty, you have the autonomy to take that vision and build based on your ability to, watch this, earn influence in people that you are serving, right? And run with it. And then Craig Rochelle taught this one time that it's really important to allow people the opportunity to make mistakes. In other words, I give people the room to get it wrong. See, a lot of people who call themselves leaders, they're afraid of that. They're afraid of giving people room to get it wrong, right? Because once they get it wrong, then we can come in, and that gives me the ability to teach of a better way to do this. But I don't need to micromanage the organization, because if I micromanage it, it will not multiply. Let me say that again. Micromanagement does not equal multiplication. Are you here? Mastery equals multiplication, not micromanagement. So if I'm going to lead people, I'm not leading them to manage them. I'm leading them to help them master their craft, master their place, master their position. I don't want to micro it. I want to master. I want to help them master it. And that will not happen if I'm always over their shoulder, if I'm always doing this, if I have to constantly do that. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. I am not a leader. If I constantly have to be there, guess what? I have not stepped into a level of leadership yet. If that's the case, I hope y'all catching me, because I'm trying to help some people take your leadership from where it is to a high capacity leader, right? I'm trying to help you get to that place that you are now a high capacity functioning leader, not what the world system calls leadership, not what the church and religious community has called leadership, not what organization. No, I'm talking about what the real principle of biblical leadership looks like is influence. Jesus became the most influential person on the face of the planet without force. He didn't force himself into that leadership. He earned himself. He earned his way into leadership. This is why people like Zacchaeus would come out of a tree and say, "Come into my house." He was saying, "Come and lead me." This is why Jesus could step on the shore of Galilee and yell out, "Hey, follow me." And people, the disciples, Peter, they decided, you know what? He's worth following. I'm going after him. He didn't have to force it. He didn't have to say, "You better follow me or else." He doesn't say, you better show up or else. He just said, "Follow me." Like it is Jim Rohn says it was the most amazing presentation ever. Follow me. And they followed him. Why? Because there was something about him that he was able to earn their influence, or he was able to earn influence into their life. He was able to earn influence into their world. Are you with me? I hope y'all catching me tonight, because this right here, like if you get this right here can turn you into it could turn you into the type of leader that can change the game. So let me give you 4 things. I call this the ladder of leadership. This is my ladder of leadership that I want to give you. I'm going to end with this so you can understand, how am I going to earn influence? This is the stages, or I call it the stages of influence. This is my stages, or my ladder of influence, the stages of influence. And here's where it comes. How do I get influence? I told you, number 1, authority. But how do I take that to the next level and be the authority? Number 1 is I build trust. People have to trust you. People only follow, or in the sales world, they say people only buy from those they know, like, and trust. Well, here's the fact. People only follow people they trust, right? Like not even that they know, like, and trust, but that they trust, right? So people follow people they trust. That's why a pastor can pastor 30,000 people, and the people not really know them. But because they trust them, they said, "I'll follow. I'll give them influence into my life." So the first stage is trust. So you develop people's trust, and then you become relatable. Anytime a leader puts themselves in a position so much higher than the people, then they lose this influence that they had. So I got to be relatable, meaning that there's something about me that connects to you. If I'm going to have influence in your life, we are relatable. I'm not so high that I can't be touched. I'm not so high that I can't, that you can't come around me. Like the whole deal preachers do sometimes, my anointing, I'm so anointed, you can't touch me right now. That stuff is so false, and so much error, and so much, it's almost demonic. Okay. I'm just telling you. Right. So I don't want to be that. I want to be relatable. There's something about us that relate, and we can get into that. I'll get deeper into that another time. And then there is the transparency. Why is there transparency? Because I'm being open, and I'm saying I am a leader, but I am just like you. There are things that I have that I'm working through as well. So I never try to hide stuff that I'm working through. There'll be moments that I'll be teaching at church and I'll say, y'all, listen, I'm preaching to myself right now. I'm working through this too. So we're going to work through this together. Or I will say, this is the mistake that I made. Why? Because I want to take the fear, hear me. I want to take the fear of making mistakes out of the organization. Right. So I make mistakes too. I made some decisions. I made some decisions. It wasn't the right decision. I did too. So why? Because I want to take the fear of making a decision out of the organization. So that's why I have transparency. I have transparency when I'm doing great. And then when I'm not doing so great, I may say this wasn't the greatest week for me. I had some stuff I had to work through. I had to get just like you do. I made a decision, and that decision took us a different direction. We got to come back and we got to fix that. And that transparency is important. And once you have trust, once you are relatable, once you have the transparency, then people receive the message or the vision. They receive the message that you're releasing or the vision of your organization. But people will not, you can't get to the like most people try to start with the message. They try to start with people get the vision. But I can't get the vision if I don't trust you. I can't get the vision if I don't relate. I can't get the vision if there's no transparency. I can't get the vision or I can't get the message. I won't receive the message from somebody I don't trust. Are you with me? I won't receive the message from somebody I don't relate to. So again, these are my stages of influence. Again, as we close, trust, relatability, transparency, and then developing, then they can receive your message. Whatever organization you're in, whatever department you're leading, if you're in church and you are a praise and worship leader, you are a youth leader, you are an executive pastor, you are a assistant pastor, you are the pastor, you're the bishop, you're the prelate, you're whatever you are. If you don't put these 4 things in place in this order, trust. Once I can trust you, I can create a relatability. I may change that to connection. We can create a connection. Once we do that, then we're transparent with each other. So I don't feel like I'm not afraid to make a mistake in front of you. You're not afraid to make a mistake in front of me. You're not going to condemn me. I'm not going to condemn you. We develop this transparency where we know we can be real. Then the last thing is they can receive your message. Not only that, they can receive your instruction. Right? When we say message, your vision, your instruction, they can receive all of that. They can receive your direction. They can receive even your correction. Right? That's all in the title. That's all tied into message. They can even receive your correction when you develop trust, relatability, transparency, and then the message. So listen, I want to say thank y'all so much for joining me for tonight on the Shift Live. Just remember also that I do have the Sermon Hack ebook, 5 things, 5 communication skills, presentation skills, 5 presentation skills they never taught you in seminary. If you are a preacher, that ebook, it's an ebook right now. We're looking to do a hard copy. I'm looking at it. We'll probably do it real soon. Right now it's an ebook. It comes with 2 videos. Make sure you inbox me and I'm going to send you the link so you can go ahead and get that book, Sermon Hack. It is like people who are reading that book, they're telling me it totally revolutionized their presentation. It totally revolutionized how they preach and how they present their sermons, revolutionize it. So make sure you inbox me and I'm going to send you the link. We'll send you the link on how you can get that. Also, Go Next. Go to Amazon to get Go Next. Amazon, type in my name, Torrey Montgomery. Get Go Next. That's a game changer. If you're in business, it's a game changer for your family, your relationships, everything. Get that book right there. Go get it. Go to Amazon like right now. Get that book. It'd be a game changer. Lord, Teach Me How to Fish. We're going to reprint that and that book's about to be redone. So it's going to be crazy. We're going to redo it and we're going to redo the cover. Everything is going to be a total rebrand on that book right there. And so prepare for that. And we got some other things coming out. We're launching our challenges. That'll be sermon prep challenges. We're launching that. We're launching the Decree School of Ministry. So I want you to stay tuned because there are so many things. People have been waiting for a few years, literally, for Decree School of Ministry. And I can't wait to launch it for those that want to take their ministry, their life, their mindset, everything to the next level. It's going to be next level for you. So again, thank you for joining the Shift Live. This is Dr. Torrey, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see you again. Can't wait to have you on again. God bless you. Make sure you share this, and I will talk to you soon.